What's up, book nerds? It's Kirsten and welcome back to my channel. So today is day one of the Contemporary-a-thon, which is a reading-a-thon over on BOOKSTAGRAM. I will have their page as well as the page of the 4 hosts linked in my description down below, so you should definitely check them out. I am so excited to be participating in this read-a-thon because I have wanted to participate in one since I've joined the bookish community online. One of the first booktube videos I found was actually a reading vlog going through a read-a-thon, and I just thought that looked like so much fun, and it was definitely something that I wanted to do. However, it was never something that I could actually make function with my schedule, but I'm going to be participating in this one and I am so excited to give it a try. This is also my first time doing a reading vlog, so we're going to see exactly how it all turns out at the end. The Contemporary-a-thon is 7 days and it has 7 reading challenges. I am not going to have time to read 7 separate books this week. I have a really busy week coming up, and so I'm going to end up combining some of the challenges to a smaller list of books. So to start out this video, let's go over the challenges and my TBR. So challenge number 1 is to read your most recently purchased contemporary book. The contemporary book that I bought the most recently, and the book that I bought the most recently just in general, happens to be On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. So a couple of days ago when I decided I was going to do the Contemporary-a-thon, I decided to hold off on picking this book up right away so that I could read it as a part of the read-a-thon. I am so excited to start this book. I am just so looking forward to everything that it has to offer. Angie Thomas is of course the author of The Hate You Give, and this is her second book set in the same world, but it's not technically a sequel. It is a really highly anticipated book within the community, and I cannot wait to pick it up. And then challenge number 2 is to read a cover with blurple or blue and purple on the cover. And my book for this challenge is going to be Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I chose Radio Silence because it actually fit for a couple of the challenges, and it's something that I've been wanting to pick up for a long time. I heard about this book last summer and I knew I wanted to pick it up, and so I ended up having a friend of mine read it and she absolutely adored it, so she has been trying to get me to pick it up since she finished it. So I'm finally going to make time for this book this week. And then challenge number 3 is to read a diverse book and to keep in mind that it is African Heritage Month or Black History Month, depending on where you live. I guess it's called different things. So for this challenge, both of the books that I was planning on reading already apply. We of course have On the Come Up, which is an Own Voices story featuring a Black main character. But then we also have Radio Silence, which is an LGBT book. And then the 4th challenge is to pick a dark, taboo, or emotional read. I am fully expecting On the Come Up to be an incredibly emotionally heavy book. The Hate You Give was just really heavy, and this is dealing with another really important topic, so I am fully expecting to be incredibly moved by this book. I have also been notified that I will definitely cry my way through Radio Silence. And then the 5th challenge is to read a book that you meant to read in 2018 but didn't get to. And this challenge is actually why I chose Radio Silence for the second topic using a blurple book. There's a lot of books that had blue or purple on the cover that I have been wanting to read. However, having heard about this last year, I really wanted to try to pick this book up while I was doing my Pride Month book tag last summer, but I just didn't end up getting around to it, and so I am really excited to read it this week. Challenge number 6 is to read a book in a non-traditional format, whether that's an ebook, a graphic novel, or an audiobook. Since I have an incredibly busy week coming up in the next 7 days, I've actually gotten the audiobook for all of these books that I'm going to be reading, and I'm going to end up bouncing back and forth between the audiobook and physically reading each story. This is how I end up reading most of the books that I read, just because it's the easiest way for me to be able to consume a story since I drive to work every day, and that's about 45 minutes of a drive and then having to drive home, as well as I can normally end up squeezing in some audiobook time while I'm working. But then when I'm at home, I do prefer to just physically sit down with a book and read, so being able to bounce back and forth is definitely my favorite way to consume a story. And then the final challenge number 7, is to read a contemporary book with a picture on the spine. It can't be a design or a color, it has to be a picture. And then for this one, I chose Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. This one is a little bit of a stretch, I'm going to be honest. It's not much of a photo, but there is these 2 little paper clips designed into a heart. This one was actually just kind of a hard one to find. Oh.
Hello, from Kirsten from the future. I'm just casually editing this vlog now and realized I never actually explained why I had to leave or actually finish the rest of my intro, and so I just thought I'd pop on really quick. I had to leave because this is the exact moment I saw my parents pull up. They were bringing me to the shop because I had to get my car worked on, and they were a couple minutes early and I was not ready for them. So I had to jump up and go outside and meet them. And just to finish the train of thought that I cut myself off in the middle of, I had a really hard time finding a book that had an actual picture, not just a design or a pattern on the spine. But I had been wanting to pick up Attachments for a while because Rainbow Rowell is one of my favorite authors, and I'm really excited to see her at BookCon this year. And so I just want to catch up on all the books that I haven't read of hers yet, which I think there's only 2 of.
What's up, book nerds? Today is day 2 of the Contemporary-a-thon, and I definitely didn't check in last night. I don't think I even finished my intro, to be honest, let alone do an actual reading update near the end of the day. So I'll just do a quick update for you guys today. Last night, I ended up finishing about a quarter of On the Come Up, and I am just loving it. I am living for the brother-sister relationship that we are getting, and I am also just loving the friendship between the 3 best friends. But now it is day 2, and I am just driving to work, and so I'm going to throw on the audiobook and do some listening, and hopefully listen to a bit more of the audiobook while I'm working tonight. And I'm going to try not to be a total zombie and actually do a reading update by the end of today. But overall, so far, I'm really happy with what I've read, and I can't wait to keep going. So I'm going to stop talking now so I can listen to the audiobook and continue on with this really awesome story. Book nerds, it's Kirsten, and today is day 3 of Contemporary-a-thon. Okay, so I have not quite been nailing this whole vlogging thing. I don't quite have the hang of it yet, but I am trying my best. So, in the words of Daniel Radcliffe, nobody can judge me. Insert meme here. I'm about an 1/8 of the way from finishing On the Come Up, and I'm just loving it so much. I can't wait to finish that story. Today we are filming from down beside my Rainbow Rowell books, just my beautiful collection of Rainbow Rowell books, because there is no better way to celebrate the actual release date of Carry On information, because today is the day, book nerds. Today we got the release day for Wayward Son, and I am losing my mind. I am so excited. And to celebrate this information, I thought what better way than to open up my tea order, Adagio, I'm not sure. And so just quick before I get ready for work, I thought I would open it up and show you some of the teas that I ordered. So one of my best friends and I decided to kind of split this order 50-50 since there is a $50 minimum spending to get free shipping. We thought it would be a good idea to just get a whole bunch of samples each. So everything in here is sample sized, and half of them are hers and half of them are mine. And I'm just so excited to go through everything that is in this box. Okay, so the first thing I see in here is actually just this sort of free extra sample that they threw in because we had ordered so much tea, and it is in the flavor Thai Chai, which sounds really good. Oh my god, this is the cutest thing. Okay, so on Adagio Teas, they have these different sort of fandom blends, and so there's all of these different nerdy and bookish tea blends, which I just thought was so great, which is why I ended up ordering from them. They had this sort of like thing that you can do that you can build your own fandom sampler box, so you can get 6 different samples, and instead of just having to get one of their sampler boxes like the Harry Potter sampler box that has just 6 random Harry Potter themed teas in it, you can pick
6 nerdy teas from different fandoms, and they put it in this little fandom sampler box. And the photo that they showed actually had like each picture from the teas on the box, and I didn't think it would actually come like that, but it actually did, and I just think that is the cutest thing. This is the cutest little box, and then there's a second box as well. And then when you open the little lid off, they've just got the little sampler sizes, tins lined up inside. Because I've already slightly spoiled it and said that I'm opening this in celebration of receiving carry-on news, let's go ahead and show you the reason that I found this tea shop in the first place. I had been looking up online different ways to make a pumpkin mocha breve at home, and I ended up stumbling upon this website because it had this pumpkin mocha breve tea, and it came in these really beautiful little tins, and so I knew I was gonna have to order them. So these are the tins. And look at the fan art on there. So we've got Simon, and this tea flavor is hazelnut, cream, Irish breakfast, cherry, and cinnamon. And he's eating his little sour cherry scone, which is the cutest dang thing. I am living for it. And then Baz is, of course, sipping on his coffee, and it is pumpkin spice, vanilla, mocha, nut, matte, cardamom, and marigold flavored. I am just living for the fan art on these little tea tins. I just think they are adorable, and after you drink the tea you can reuse the tins, and I love them so much, and they come in bigger sizes, but I wanted to try the tea first and make sure I like it before I order the like huge size, and I'm committed to having that much tea. But I'm gonna go ahead and give these both a quick sniff test. Oh my gosh, Baz smells so good. That smells so good. I can't wait to try it. Also, it says online that these little sample tins hold enough for about 5 cups of tea, and they cost $5. So that's a great little way to sample a tea to see if you like it. Oh my goodness, Simon's smells so good. It smells so warm and sweet. Oh, I can't wait to try both of those teas. So I ended up picking 5 tea flavors, and my friend ended up picking 5 tea flavors. So I'm only going to show you the flavors that I ended up purchasing. So my other 3 flavors that I ended up getting, this one, which is called Void, which of course has Void styles on it. I never ended up being able to get through all of Teen Wolf. The show just wasn't that good, like in my opinion. Like, sorry to throw shade to anybody out there who loves it. However, I still definitely consider myself incredibly active in the fandom because I loved the amount of art and fan fiction and everything that ended up coming out of the fandom, and I am still just so active in that community. So even though I did never actually finish the show, I am definitely still a huge Teen Wolf fan, and I especially loved Void styles, and so I died when I saw this art. I thought it was so amazing. And this one is a dark blend of pu'er spice, pomegranate, and masala chai with accents of ginger and cloves. That sounds nice and spicy, and I can't wait to try. Oh my goodness, it is spicy. It smells spicy in the way a lot of Christmas things smell spicy. I guess it's probably that clove that's in there, but it doesn't smell like specifically Christmassy, so I'm super excited to try that one. Okay, and then I got this tea, which is called Butterbeer, and it has our little golden trio on it in the cutest little fan art. I am just dying for this style. So this, of course, is supposed to taste like butterbeer from Harry Potter. Oh, that one is chocked right full. Oh, and it smells so warm and caramel and butterscotchy, and oh, I can't wait to try that. That smells so good. And then the last tea that I ended up ordering in this package is this tea, which is from the 6 of Crows collection that was on the website. And this one, of course, has Kaz Brecker on it. And I love this fan art. I love the card style that it was done in. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up having to get the entire series because I just love the art so much. But this was the tea that sounded the best to me, and of course the character that I wanted to buy. Oh wow, that one smells, you know, it actually almost smells like tobacco. Yeah, that smells bizarre. I'm really interested in to try this one because it doesn't actually smell
the way that like a tea normally smells. It doesn't smell like an edible item, but I am really excited to try it because I'm interested in how it turns out. Oh, that is so interesting. I'm interested. Color me intrigued. I'm curious. I am very curious. So those are the 5 teas that I ended up ordering, and I am so excited to give them all a go. It is time for me to head to work now, but I will have the website that I ordered these teas from linked in my description down below, and hopefully I will see you tonight with another reading update. Hey book nerds, it's Kirsten, and today is day 4 of the Contemporary-a-thon. It is really cold, and my hair, which was still wet from the shower, is freezing solid, so I am looking a hot mess, and we're just going to agree not to discuss it, okay? So last night I finished On the Come Up, and it was absolutely amazing. I am going to save all of my thoughts for it until I can talk while I'm not driving. However, like, long story short, it was a 5-star read. Like, Angie Thomas just knows how to bring us these absolutely amazing stories with these dynamic family and friend relationships, and I was just so impressed, and she did it again. And anybody who is like nervous to pick up her second book because her first book was so good, don't be nervous, because it was amazing. It was a 5-star read, and there's nothing I would change. It was really satisfying. I loved it times infinity, which means that today I am starting Radio Silence, which is my second book in my Contemporary-a-thon TBR, which is not great for day 4 to be starting, but I'm hoping that I can get a bit of reading done today. I am just in the car driving on my way to brunch with my grandparents, and then I will have some time in between brunch and my shift at work tonight to do a little bit of reading, hopefully. So I've got my book with me, and I've got the audiobook downloaded, so I'm going to go ahead and start listening to that on my drive now. But yes, I hope that whatever day that you're watching this, that you are having a good reading day, and that you're enjoying whatever you are reading, and I will check in with you later. Hey book nerds, so I am just finishing work, and I just listened to like probably about 3/4, maybe just over, of Radio Silence just on this shift alone. It was honestly like highly addicting and like very impossible to put down. I'm a little bit nervous as to how it's going to finish, because honestly I think this is maybe one of those books where it's just kind of like the ending is either going to make me absolutely adore it or absolutely hate it, and there's going to be no middle ground. But so far I am honestly absolutely adoring it. It's highly addictive. I cannot put it down. I need to stop filming this simply so I can pick it back up, but I wanted to check in. At this point, honestly, the best way that I can kind of describe this book is like if Fangirl and Eliza and Her Monsters sort of collided with Mirror Mirror by Cara Delevingne and Paper Towns by John Green. It's just this kind of bizarre mystery where you are in love with these characters, but yet you don't actually know them as characters. Like, you don't actually know who they are, and yet you still see yourself in them so incredibly much. So at this point, I am honestly kind of nervous to see how it ends, but I cannot wait to see how it ends. So I'm going to stop filming, and I'm going to go listen to some more of the audiobook as I drive home. I won't be able to finish it, so as soon as I get home, I'm probably going to pick up the physical copy and try my best to finish it tonight, despite the fact that I stayed up reading fan fiction last night and only got like 2 hours of sleep, and I need to get up early for schoolwork tomorrow. But that is okay. That is the reader life. Hey, no, no, no. currently day 7 of the Contemporary-a-thon, and I definitely disappeared for a little bit there. I wasn't reading, and so I didn't end up updating my vlog. I just had such a busy week that by the time I got to the end of the week, I still had so much schoolwork left to do that on like Friday, I just woke up and did schoolwork straight through until I had to go to bed. But I got everything done, and I'm like really happy with like the results of everything. I'm comfortable with how my essays have worked out, and I got good marks on my quizzes. And then yesterday I did end up finishing Radio Silence by Alice Osman, and I'm honestly just having such a hard time putting into words how much I loved this book. I was really scared about how it was going to end, and there was just so much of it that I was like, if it ends in a certain way, I just don't think I'll actually end up being able to enjoy the story as a whole, which is definitely not something I normally feel. I'm normally really okay with however an author brings a story, even if it's not, you know, the ending I wanted or the one that I would have chosen or anything like that. I can appreciate the story for what it was. But this one, I was just so terrified of so many different kind of endings that could have happened, and I was just so happy with the way that the story did finish. I think what I can definitely say that this book is definitely going to be one of my absolute favorites, not just contemporaries, just one of my favorites in general, which is pretty rare because I am like very definitely a bigger fan of fantasy and sci-fi stories, and I can't wait to just read other people's reviews and see what other people thought of this story. And I want to have other friends that read this story and know what they thought of it, because I loved it so much. So if you have read Radio Silence, you should definitely come and chat with me in the comments down below, because I really loved it. It was most certainly a 5-star read. There's nothing that I would change about it. It was absolutely amazing. The narrative was amazing. The plot absolutely left me guessing the entire way through. I was so terrified with where it may or may not go, and I am absolutely just so attached to the characters in this story. I really loved this book, and I really want to find other people who love it as much as I do. So now it is day 7. It is 3:15 p.m. and I am just on my way to work. And while I'm not thinking I'm going to be able to finish Attachments by Rainbow Rowell tonight, I'm really happy that I did end up at least finishing 2 of the 3 books that I was hoping to read during the Contemporary-a-thon, and I will start the audiobook for Attachments while I'm on shift, and I brought my physical copy with me so that I could flip through that on my lunch break, or I guess on my dinner break. But all around, I'm really happy with how my reading for this week did end up turning out, saying as how busy my week was. But I am excited to start Attachments just to see kind of where I end up in that story. And I just never filmed an outro apparently, because I was expecting to go back later and talk about Attachments, but I did not end up starting Attachments while on shift that night. It was a really busy night at work, and honestly it took me like 4 days to start another book after Radio Silence, just because the book hangover was so real. So here is my outro that I'm filming like a week later, because that's how long it's taking me to be able to find time to actually edit this video. It's gonna be up so late, but oh well, I guess it's better late than never. Thank you so much for sticking with me through my very first reading vlog. It was a little bit of a struggle, and despite that though, I ended up having so much fun making it, and so I would definitely be interested in making some more in the future and hopefully getting better at it as I make more and more of them. So if that is something that you would be interested in watching, you should definitely let me know. And if you have read On the Come Up or Radio Silence, or if you are participating in the Contemporary-a-thon and read any great contemporaries that you really enjoyed, then you should definitely come chat with me in the comments below, because I would love to talk about them. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon for a new video. Bye!